All right, we are back once again for the divisional round. We got everyone that was on last week besides a couple. No Caden, no Dillon. Um, I'm seeing a trend with all these Vikings fans not showing up, except for Mekel. Mekel, I got to appreciate you for that. Everyone else went into hiding,
Okay.
but Mekel is here strong. Let me just ask you first, Mekel. Thoughts on Sam Darnold, the 9 sacks, and the Vikings' performance?
I'm not too surprised, honestly. 9 sacks is pretty fucking atrocious. That kind of goes to the O line, probably the 40 pass plays we had, and also Darnold pulling out of the ball for 20 years. Definitely doesn't help. Um, I don't know, it's disappointing, but also can't say I'm shocked. Like that's how Darnold's been all year. Everybody just keeps seeing the record where it's like 14-3 and we're doing great. But if you watch the first Rams game or any of the Lions games, it's the same thing where he's trying to go deep or hang on to the ball too long. He has easy checkdowns for the 5 to 10 yard area and just wasn't going for it every single time. Um, so yeah, didn't watch the whole game, but I watched the first half, and I think that was all there really was, anyways. So yeah,
I was going to say that's truly all there really was to that game was the first half. Um, I was working during that game, and all I got to say is, oh my God. Okay, I know you didn't like the call with the Matthew Stafford, um, the Matthew Stafford fumble or not,
yep.
intentional grounding call, but I was working at B-Dubs in Mankato when that happened. And this place went absolutely ape shit over the fumble six. So they're getting up, freaking hitting each other in the chest, just freaking throwing food all over the place, everything, just going bananas. And what they don't realize is that it's being called back, um, being called back by John Hussey, and they are literally doing the skull chant in
Oh
the
my God.
restaurant. They were all doing the skull chant while it's being called back. And all I gotta say is that is the epitome of a most Vikings fans I know, aka Josh Giles. But, you know, that just made me cringe so hard when that happened. But I'm very happy that the Vikings are out of it, and as I'm sure you guys are also happy the Packers are out of it. Do you guys want to go into any last week's games, or do you want to just go into this week's?
Under this week. I want to say quick though, I did not. As soon as the replay came out, I knew that was a forward pass, but I just still think like Puka came on that like a little route as like a blocker. I thought, and I thought it should have been intentional grounding. But
Either
other than
way,
that, yeah.
I'm thinking it's just a heady play by Matthew Stafford, and I was telling everybody last week, I don't know why you're acting like that's such an easy playoff game. I would not bet against
No.
Stafford and the Rams in the playoffs. They're always a very hot team come the end of the season. Um, Also, what a letdown of those wild card games. Besides the Commanders and Bucks, all of them were blowouts, or all of them were very boring to watch the entire time. So those sucked, but we move on. So, biggest shock of the week was probably the Texans over the Chargers. So, this is what we got going on this week. So, I included the spread, the total, and the money line for Josh Giles, who's not here because he's a bitch. I'm going to keep calling him out, and he's not going to watch this, so it's not going to matter. So yeah, spread is Kansas City -8, total 41.5. Money line Houston plus 380. Um, Houston, if you guys remember a couple of years ago, they were up 24 to nothing on Kansas City, and they ended up losing that game. So what are we thinking on this one? What are the uh what are the results going to be?
I'd like to first start off by saying, should the NFL have included Alabama in the playoff instead, since these were all blowouts? Um, I'm thinking Chiefs like win 24-21. It'll be close. Texans actually played them solidly well over this year before Tank Dell's knee literally just blew up, basically. But I think it'll be a close game.
I am thinking it's a little bit more of a trap game than people are leading on, but the same time, you know how it goes with the Chiefs. Um, First of all, Cason, who'd you say is reffing the Bills game?
Carl Sheffers.
Yep, so that's part of the issue. Um, Weather's not going to be much of a factor. I did put that in there. They said that there's a chance of light snow. It's not going to be like that Dolphins and Chiefs game was last year. We got a high of 26 during the day, nighttime, a low of 7 degrees, 10 to 20 mile an hour wind. You guys like that little weather stat that I put in there? Eh?
Love it.
So then the injury report, Nelson, I know you see Aziz Al-Shaair on that. How do you feel about that? Did not participate today in practice.
Oh, I'd be surprised if he's not out there. I'm not a huge fan of him as a person, but I think he kind of got hosed with that 3 game suspension.
He
I'm
did.
glad the league is going to let him play for at least a half before he hits Mahomes and gets ejected.
I knew you did, Nelson. That's why I called on you. So also, I want to know your predictions on this game. Um, I'm sure we're all going the same way on this one, but Brady, let's hear it.
Yeah, I don't see a world that the league lets the Chiefs lose this game, but I think 8 points is a little bit too big for my liking for the spread. I think it's a much closer game, probably high teens, low 20s for both teams.
Fair enough. Let's see, Chris. I know you're on your first beer, but we're gonna hear if you have any outrageous takes during this game right now.
I was sitting at work and I was thinking about like who I thought would win this game, and I think the Chiefs' devil magic will pull through again, and I do think they cover the spread. Um, I, I picked the Texans to make the Super Bowl in my like preseason picks, but I don't know. I think last week was an outlier, and it's the Chiefs. I don't know. It's hard to pick against them at any point.
So you don't think that, they shocked pretty much everyone last week. I mean, I think we all went Chargers last week. And I thought that they were the one team that was an automatic loss out of the playoffs besides the Steelers, because I think that every single year at the Steelers. Um, but you weren't impressed with also, if anyone is watching the Nickelodeon broadcast, as soon as Jim Harbaugh got picked up by the dirty bubble, they ended up being outscored, what was it, 26 to 6 or something? Or no, 32 to 6. Um, so no Nickelodeon game this week, as far as I know. But I don't know. Do you think that Texans defense is going to give them some problems? Because Stingley was all over the place in that game against the Chargers. I mean, Aziz Al-Shaair, if he plays, it's going to be a lot different defensively, but
They might, but I just think the Texans' offense, if the Chiefs shut down their run game, it's about game over there. So, and I suspect that's what's going to end up happening.
fair
I
enough.
don't I don't think the Texans score a lot of points, but Chiefs might not either, but I still think they cover.
And then Mekel, I think you're the only one that hasn't said anything about this game yet. So,
Yeah, I think Chiefs win easy, like 24-13 or something. It's 26 degrees is the high, and they're from Texas, so it's gonna be, what happens in cold games. You get really physical, you run the ball. Texans have a shit O line, so I think mentally they'll probably tap out by like the end of the third quarter, and they're not going to run the ball on this team. And then the Chiefs will also get like those one or two bullshit calls, and it'll just like demoralize the Texans and probably give the Chiefs a touchdown or a field goal somewhere, and just change the game that way.
yeah.
You guys think it just comes out of his hole once again after not doing shit again in the regular season for like the fourth year in a row to just go crazy on the Texans since it's going to be kind of a cold game?
Yeah, he
True.
will, and people will say he's next to Christ or something again.
And he'll get drafted
You
10th
know,
and only to score like 8 points a game again all year.
Also, I did not include him on this injury report, but Patrick Mahomes was listed on the injury report with an ankle injury. So, don't know where that came from or if they've just been having that linger on since like week 15 or whatever, but seems kind of excessive to me. But literally, the only people that are limited participants were Mecole Hardman and Mecole Hardman only, and he's currently on IR for them. And while you see the Texans injuries, they have plenty of them. So
Is the Patrick Mahomes ankle injury for no Carl Scheffler's reffing his game?
That's very true. Also, the Chiefs lead the all-time series in this 8-5. I also input that on this. So we're gonna go into this in between these matchups. Great game, great game to play here. We got some actually knowledgeable people on here. It's not gonna be um Josh just sitting here the whole time not knowing who the hell these players are. Even with Joe Webb, who played for his franchise for what, 3, 4 years? Yeah.
That's fun to
Okay,
watch.
so does anybody does anybody have a guess on the guy on the left?
Is that Vonta Leach?
No, it is not. Running back, not a fullback.
Oh, that's Brand, not
And
Brand.
Slater?
Ben Tate?
Ben Tate is
Oh,
correct.
hey. Oh my gosh.
Ben Tate. All right, so now guy in the middle. Anybody have a guess on that guy? He is also a running back, and I purposely made all these players offensive players.
Is that Justin Forsett when he played there that 1 year?
No, it is not. I was going to do Justin Forsett, but since we did him last week, I did not include him with the Ravens or the Texans.
Yeah, I got no clue.
Let me look up the year he played quick. I was going to do their colleges along with them, but I decided not to.
It's like 2014-ish season
Yes, he was
by the
picked in
uniform.
2014 draft. Played for the Texans for 4 years and also played for the Jags 1 year.
Where do you go to college?
LSU.
TJ Yeldon or did Bama?
It's not TJ Yeldon.
He's on the tip of my tongue right now.
I will say there was another, so his best season was 2015 with 698 yards. There was one other player that was a running back that had his first name that's a lot more notable than he is, who played for the Redskins.
Is it Alfred Blue?
It is Alfred Blue. That's a good one right there. All right, then we're going to go to this wide receiver. He played on many NFL teams, but this is the first team that he played on back in 2002.
Oh.
He also played for
Hmm.
Patriots. He played for the Redskins. I think he played, let me double check who we all played for. I know there was a ton of teams when I was looking earlier.
Did he play for the Chargers at all?
I do not believe so.
Yeah.
Okay, he played for Denver. He played for New England, Washington, and Miami. Went to school at Florida.
What year did he retire?
Um, what year did he retire? 2012. This guy is older than I thought he was, honestly.
I'm tapping out.
Yeah, I
Any
don't know.
guess? Same initials as Josh Giles. Anybody?
Nope.
Jabbar Gaffney.
Oh, jeez.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to go on to the Chiefs players. 2 running backs and a receiver. The running backs are relatively easy once you actually think of them. Running
Niall
backs are around the
Davis.
same time frame. So the guy on the left,
Another receiver. But once we get there.
the guy on the left was taken in the 2013 NFL draft by the Seahawks.
Hmm.
Played at LSU. That's about all I got on him. He did in 2016, he had 921 rushing yards on the season, so he was almost a 1,000-yard rusher.
Was it still with Seahawks 2016?
He was on the Seahawks in 2013 when he got drafted there. But he played on the Chiefs from 2015 to 2019.
Because 2016 would have been the year that Jamal Charles got hurt, if I remember right. Right? No, that'd have been earlier.
I think he went
Yeah,
to the Broncos 2016.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think 2017.
any guesses?
My first guess was Nile Davis. I don't know.
It would be who?
I think he went to Arkansas, didn't he?
Spencer Ware.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, next one. Next one's the more notable of the Chiefs running backs, I'd say. Let me.
You can see his face on Madden, but I just don't know his name.
2014 undrafted free agent. He went to Abilene Christian University. And he had 2 stints with the Chiefs. That's the only team he ever played for, though. That he actually made a roster. In 2015, he had 634 rushing yards. That was his best season. This man has a very odd first name.
I got no clue.
Demetrius?
Nope. Any guess, Brady?
I suck at this one
I
now.
know Brady loves this game. It is Charkandrick West.
Damn it.
All right. Last one. Cason, you think that you knew this one?
Did he play for the Cardinals too?
Yes, he did.
Steve Preston.
Ding, ding, ding. Steve Breston is correct on that one.
I don't know how or why I knew 15 on the Chiefs so fast for fucking some bum, but
True.
I mean, some other bummers.
Lots of Chiefs fans don't know who he is either. So, okay. So then we're going to what I think is probably the one game
-10. Wow.
that might be a blowout. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this game because I could absolutely see the Lions just waxing them, but at the same time, they're not going to match up. That defense won't match up well against Jaden Daniels himself, I think. Um, I still think the Lions win this one pretty easily. Commanders barely escaped the Bucks. You know, Baker fumbles that snap. Bucks should probably be playing right now, but lots of injuries for the Commanders as well, but lots of them are just limited for participants in practice. Nobody just straight up out. Bobby Wagner did miss, but also on the Lions side, David Montgomery, full participant. So that'd be big to have Montgomery back. We got a spread of 10. Detroit -10, which seems kind of crazy. Total 55.5. Money line is Washington plus 380. We got that absolute dump of a stadium down there. I hate Ford Field with a burning passion. I hate the lighting of it. That's why I chose that picture where it shows you how freaking dark it is in there. I hate watching those games on TV. But Lions injuries, they have some DNPs, but nothing too bad. Kevin Zietler not being on or not participating might be tough. But at the same time, I think Lions win this one handedly. Cason, what are you feeling on this?
First off, Tim, I need the weather report from inside Ford Field.
From inside Ford Field, probably asbestos poisoning. I don't know.
Where's the fake snow?
Yeah, exactly. Some Wizard of Oz shit going on there.
They're not absolute pussies like Minnesota, where they got to put the fake snow going on in the background to act like they're outside, even though they're not. I honestly, Tim, I agree with you. I think that getting David Montgomery back is going to be big. One thing I've noticed with the line since his injury as well, I think they might be a little more explosive when Gibbs plays the whole game. I think that Montgomery kind of helps them wear down opponents better, where they can just kind of take it to them in the fourth quarters more so. They did that against the Vikings, but that honestly had everything also to do with Sam Darnold just playing like absolute shit, like he did, on Monday night, where he looked like he was again once seeing ghosts out there. Honestly, I think the Lions cover. They're going to win this like 30-20, something like that. They'll move on to the next championship game. I think Washington's had a good year, better than any of us could have predicted. I know Chris out here predicting them as a surprise team. Shout out to him for that one. Shout out to Beer too. But also, I think that I think that they've had a great year, but I think it's going to be a little too much to come to Detroit and play a team that's had breast that needed breast and is going to probably be firing on all cylinders again.
That's a good point that you make with Montgomery wearing down the defense, especially when you look at their injury report. Jordan McGee, Bobby Wagner, Deron Payne, Marshawn Lattimore, Frankie Louvu. Even if they're full participants, that doesn't really matter at times, as long as they have a lingering injury. So Brady, I know you're a big Jaden Daniels believer at this point. So do you think he goes into Detroit and knocks down Goliath?
No, I don't see a world where Washington covers the spread. I think Detroit's going to be firing 100% the whole time. They're gonna break 40. I don't think with too much effort. Adding Montgomery back to this on top of all those limited and did not participate on the Washington defense, I think this could get out of hand in a hurry. We could get maybe a backdoor Washington cover, but I don't even see that much happening.
So Dylan just joined the party. Dylan, we only covered the Chiefs and Texans so far, which I'm sure you feel the same way that we do about it. Jackson Yankee's not activated to the official roster, so I mean, what are they going to do at wide receiver at that point? So we're talking Commanders, Lions right now. So what are your thoughts on this as a big Jaden Daniels guy, just like Brady is?
Yeah, Brady, I only heard like 10 seconds of what he was saying, but he could see it getting out of hand real fast. And I could definitely see that too. If the Commanders want to win this game, they're going to have to score 35 plus points. Um, I just don't really see it happening. Lions are too good. They're starting to get a little healthier. So that's kind of scary. So, yeah, I would have no problem riding with the Lions on this one.
Do you think the Commanders cover the 10-point spread on this? Since we're a betting show now.
Yeah, how'd that happen?
No,
Giles, who's not here.
I thought Josh would show up, but he's too much of a freaking poon to be on this after his Vikings took the L since he was so high on them all season.
I mean, we got to give Josh a little grace. He just tore his Achilles playing pickup basketball.
I don't give him any grace.
He's on meds, dude. He doesn't know what he's saying. I think that, yeah, I think the Lions will probably cover.
On or off meds, he still doesn't know what he's saying. Chris, so going up to Detroit for this game, you know how much I hate Ford Field. I wish this was an outdoor stadium. Lions once again, Jared Goff played 14 of 17 games in a dome or whatever this season, and he gets to play the entire playoffs in a dome, being the 1 seed. Do you see the potential probable rookie of the year coming in that building and shocking the nation?
Well, before I answer that question, I had two things to say. The little I know of Josh, just from what I've seen out of the group text and whatnot, I really don't think it matters if he's on meds or not, because the shit that spews out of his mouth is flabbergasting. The second thing is I'm on beer number 3. There we go.
Beer counter.
Thanks, Dylan. And as much as I want to be contrarian and pick the commies, I don't see it happening. Not in any shot. I think Lions cover. They cover easy. I think the Cinderella story ends here for the Commanders.
Love the shot at Josh there. He freaking spoke no lies either. Mekel, what are you thinking on this one?
Yeah, I see the Lions winning this, probably like 31-20. I could see the Commanders kind of coming out hot, maybe scoring first and being up like 10-0 for first quarter. Maybe like it might be a little scary looking in the first half, but I think come second half, Cliff Kingsbury won't know what the hell he's doing. The Lions will start rolling, and it'll end up being like a really bad second half for them. And Lions take it away.
Fair enough. So then we will go on to our next game. Hopefully you guys do a little bit better on these guys, but as the last ones. So we got forgotten about Redskins players. It is not the Commanders. These guys all played for the Redskins, what they still should be. So first guy, like I said, Dillon, these are all offensive players. So the first guy is a running back.
Clinton Portis.
No, but is the same number as Clinton Portis. I knew someone would say that.
Is it that fucking bum Roy Halou?
It is that
Roy
bomb,
Halou
Roy
Jr.
Halou Jr. Look at that. Cason is
It
once
isn't Alfred Morris. I don't want it.
I think, did that man go to Nebraska? Why do I think he went to
He
Nebraska?
did.
He did.
He went to Nebraska.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so then this middle guy is a little bit way more obscure. I mean, Roy Halou Jr. is pretty obscure, but this guy in the middle, I'd be shocked if anyone knew him. He's not a running back, he's a wide receiver.
Give us the years he played.
Let me look real quick.
Yeah.
Bro, I was probably 5 when this guy played football.
He
I was
was
probably 5 when he touched
No,
a
that
football
uniform,
last.
he was
that uniform
picked
looks like
by the
2013-ish.
Redskins in the 2014 NFL draft.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Where'd he go to college, Tim?
Notre Dame.
You.
Gross.
2014.
This is actually this is actually a trick question. I'm gonna be real. I thought these were two different guys, but it is the same guy who came back into the NFL after retiring, and he switched positions.
John Pitt.
Wow, this is actually insane. I
It's not
100%
Jordan Reed, is it?
two different guys.
What position did he move to tight end?
No, he moved from running back to wide receiver. Cason, once you look at his face, you should know who he is. Just think Notre Dame. And he used to be a running back and he switched to wide receiver.
I got no clue.
I can't think of who it is.
He signed with the New York Giants as an undrafted free agent in 2005. Played there 2005, 2006. He won a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers.
He started in 2005 or 2014?
2005, and then he took like a 5-year gap. Or no, started out 2005, played for the Giants till 2006, played from the Packers from 2007 to 2011, then the Redskins in 2012. But he switched positions when he went to the Redskins.
Okay, so he's a running back in Green Bay from 07 to 11.
Wait.
That's not Ryan Grant, is it?
It is Ryan
I was
Grant.
just gonna say that he changed
I had no clue.
positions.
No,
I had
I
no clue
literally
he
thought
did
those
that.
two guys. I thought that those were two separate guys.
There's no
Look
way
that
that's the
up.
same guy.
It is the
No,
same
there's no
guy.
way. He looks so
That
much
is
smaller.
crazy. Okay, and then this last one should be a very easy one.
Pierre
I just want to
Garcon.
hear someone say his name. Who just said it?
It's not Pierre Garcon, right?
Pierre Garcon. The nice little curly Q on the
That's
C right
crazy.
there.
That's culture,
No,
Tim. I'm
Tim.
proud of you.
Tim, I'm online right now. That is a different Ryan Grant.
It is okay. This
Yep.
Wikipedia thing says that it's the same guy.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
looked.
send the link. We got to fact check you on that.
No,
He
Dylan,
looks so
we don't
different.
fact check.
Okay, okay.
We don't fact check anymore.
Is that David Best? How you
We
pronounce
don't
his
fact
name?
check after Brady got fact checked last week.
Hey,
I
Brady
wasn't
still
even
needs to
here for
take his
that.
victory lap as well, by the way. Okay, there are two separate Ryan Grants here. Why is it showing the same picture?
Okay.
That other Ryan Grant, though, the wide receiver Ryan Grant, also played for the Packers at some point. I did not know that.
Yeah, I think Tim just got fake news.
Well, should have seen what I was looking at. All right, we're going left to right, remember. So
Like
first
Bell?
one, someone say it.
Like Bell?
Joik Bell, the Wayne State alumni.
No,
Guy
the
in
middle
the
isn't. Tim, is this fucking Titus Young?
middle.
And this young senior
I
Boise
was gonna
State.
say the guy in the middle is a little bit harder to get besides for Mekel, but Cason beat him to it. Titus Young Sr. Boise alumni. Oh shit. Well, someone said it earlier.
Yeah.
David
Yeah.
Best. Underappreciated running back right there. Injuries cut his career short.
Tim,
Damn,
would
you
you,
couldn't even put Zach Zenner out there.
I could not put Zach Zenner. It's too easy for all these South Dakota boys in this. All right, so we're gonna go to the Rams and Eagles. So personally, this is the first upset that I'm gonna take. I'm gonna go Rams in this one. Like I said, Stafford and the Rams are a scary playoff team. I don't know why people thought that was such a cakewalk last week for the Vikings, but Stafford played very well in that game. Like heady play in the beginning, throwing that ball away. We do have a chance of rain and snow in this game, 39 degrees at kickoff. Dylan, I know you like those weather stats.
I do.
So we got a spread of Philly -6, total 43.5. Money line is on the Rams plus 230. Not many injuries for the Rams. I know Tyler Higbee, it's a big injury for them. I know that's one of Dylan's favorite tight ends in the NFL. Um, Akella Weatherspoon did not participate, neither did Bobby Brown III. On the Eagles side, you got AJ Brown, who did not practice today with a knee injury. And everyone else is pretty much just rest. Besides Byron Young, he has a hamstring injury. But lots of resting of the players here, besides Kenny Pickett as well. You never know when you're going to see a backup quarterback come into the game. Um, so I'm going to go the Rams in this one. I think it'll be a pretty close game, but the NFL loves their storylines first and foremost. So the LA Fires, they're going to be that hot team because of that. Chris, I know that was also your point. I'm going to let you talk on that.
That's a bad pun that you just called them a hot team. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
Dude, have some respect.
no pun intended on that one. Dylan,
That's
get your
messed
mind out
up,
of
Get
there.
dude.
your head out of the gutter, dude.
That's
You're sick.
crazy, dude. I'm just real, man.
I mean, they've won, 10 of the last 13. They're kind of on fire lately.
Yeah, they really are kind of on fire. So, the Eagles do lead this all-time series though, 23 to 18 to 1. But that's not going to matter because I think the Rams are the better playoff team. I mean, the Packers, I'm not going to say that they should have won that game because they really shouldn't have because Jordan Love played like absolute ass, but he was also throwing to his wide receiver 3 as his wide receiver 1 or his wide receiver 4 as his wide receiver 1. And he also was throwing to like Bo Melton and Malik Heath out there. And Tucker Kraft was running QB sneaks. I mean, you're not going to win football games and all that's going on. I will say though, the Packers defense, it was the one time I've ever seen in the playoffs where the Packers defense impressed me more than their offense did. So shout out Jeff Halfley. Hopefully you don't go to New York and take that Jets job. But I'm gonna go Rams in this one. I'll post my score prediction down below because I don't know what it'll be yet. But I'm taking the Rams by probably like 8. Honestly, 31-23. Give me that. So Dylan, actually, is anybody else going the Rams on this? Chris,
I am.
right, Chris.
Yeah, I'm going the Rams, but honestly, I think I need to pick the Eagles now because you jinxed them. Because I forgot who said it last week. They said Sam Darnold was going to be on fire, and Obviously, that did not happen. So I do think the Rams end up winning, though. I don't know. It is a chance of rain and snow. Uh, might be tough for LA, but it's Matt Stafford. The Rams have been on a streak, and I don't know. Go on the Rams.
I would say Josh Giles would be the only one that's clown enough to say that Sam Darnold would be on fire, but we got a couple other delusional Vikings fans in here. So, Dylan, I know that you're
Yes,
one
we
of
do.
them. So, Dylan, who are you
I
picking?
think we have some pretty realistic Vikings fans in here, all things considered. I mean, you know a lot of Vikings fans.
McKellen,
Let's go,
McKellen.
JJ.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I see the Eagles winning this game. I see this as a game where they have 3 rushing touchdowns, and honestly, probably 2 of them are going to be tush pushes with Jalen Hurts. Saquon's going to have a big game. AJ Brown, I'm not too concerned about him unless he doesn't practice tomorrow. Normally, like Wednesdays are still like kind of like you can kind of get away with it. You can still practice the next day in limited fashion and end up playing your next game. But if he doesn't practice tomorrow, then it's something to actually be worried about if you're an Eagles fan. But at the end of the day, I think the Eagles at home in the elements, all that. I just think they're going to win. Are they going to cover? I don't know. That's hard. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yeah, they're going to. I'm going to say like 24-14.
Is this you talking from a salty Vikings fan perspective?
Oh no, I hate the Eagles. I'm a Vikings fan, dude. I hate the Eagles either way. So, um, yeah. I mean, I just wish both teams would lose, but
That's true. I forgot about them Philadelphia cream cheesing you in that one on FC Championship that one year. That was very tough. And yes, I really did just say that, Dylan. Um,
that's a phrase I've never heard. You need to never say that again.
all right, Mekel, the other salty Vikings fans about this one.
Yeah.
What team do
Yeah,
you hate less?
the Rams for sure. I do like seeing Stafford succeed. It really is kind of nice to see him in Detroit and do well. Not salty at all. Like I'm more mad at our own team than the Rams. I see Rams probably like 24-21. I think the Eagles have a better roster overall, but watching last week, the Rams defense is really impressive. Like 9 sacks. A lot of that is probably from Sam Darnold just being a dumbass. But McVay's a really good coach. I think Sirianni's the definition of mid, and I think he'll get out coached. The thing is that Eagles have a really good O line and really good roster, so I'll keep it close. But I'll go Rams 24-21.
That is a very valid point about the coaching. I think we can all concur on that one. Brady, need to know your thoughts on this.
I'm actually going Rams to kind of win this one running away, actually. I think Sirianni is coached way above his class for a little while. I think he's due to completely cost them this game by trying to get cute. I think when it comes down to it, the best player or the best quarterback, best receiver are both in LA, along with best coach. And the Rams defense, outside of their Week 18 benching of everybody, I don't believe have allowed a team to score more than like 10 or 12 points since they played Buffalo. So I've been quite impressed with how they've played. I think the Eagles defense is more susceptible to getting torched by a good passer. So I'm quite surprised that the Rams are this big of an underdog, and I think they win this by a solid 1 score, if not 10 points.
That is an interesting point that you bring up about the wide receivers as well. Would we all take Puka Nacua over AJ Brown?
Easy. They have the best 1 and 2 receiver right there.
Yeah.
Not and Puka combined.
I don't know if I'd be so quick to do it. I don't know. I do like AJ Brown, but
I
I
think
also
AJ
think
Brown.
that he was in Tennessee still.
I think AJ Brown is the second best receiver in this game, but I think the gap between AJ Brown and Puka is bigger than the gap between AJ Brown and whoever's the third, Cup or Devontae.
I trust Stafford and Puka more than I trust Hurts and AJ Brown. If you swapped it, different story, but I think the quarterbacking is a big thing there.
It's a good point. Jalen Hurts is a very selfish player. And I also hate Devontae Smith. I have to just put that out there. That is my most hated NFL player for literally no reason. I just had to mention that. Um, Cason, I know you've been impatiently waiting this, so let's hear it.
Honestly, for me personally, I think this was the hardest game to decide between. You got the Eagles with the good defense, they got the run game. But then I was, thinking back, what does the NFL love more than anything? Obviously, we'll see Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game. He's made it there every year. He's got the good storyline behind him. But what would the NFL love more than anything in the NFC? Tim, your stat about domes for the Lions this year. Where's the Super Bowl? Oh, in New Orleans in a dome. Who would be the best team to play the Lions? A Hollywood ending of Matthew Stafford against the Lions. Can the Lions get past Matthew Stafford? Give me Rams here as Matthew Stafford says, I'll be your Huckleberry to the Eagles and Sean McVay and takes them down 28-14 in Philadelphia. Shout out.
Wow. That is that was
Hmm.
very, very, very oddly specific there. How long were you thinking of that one?
Oh, the whole podcast.
Oh, okay. Makes
You almost directly quoted the Joker at the end of the Batman movie and said, "Do you know what the people of Gotham love more than anything? A good comeback story." That was nice. That was nice.
so let's see. Dylan, you were taking the Eagles. Um, wait, was it just Dylan that's taking the Eagles? I guess. All right, so we go on to the next one. Forgotten St. Louis Rams players. These are all players that played in St. Louis. Left to right. Wide receiver
Assuming the
for the
receiver.
first one.
Is that Brandon LaFell?
It is not Brandon LaFell.
Okay,
The
so
year
it
they
looks like
drafted.
somebody walked over your grave.
What?
I said, well, Cason, it looks like somebody walked over your grave.
Is that Puka Nakua?
This this man played at University of Houston. Other teams include the Titans, Colts, and Chiefs.
Baker Mayfield is on the Rams.
Dylan, I'm about to mute you.
That's two people who wore 17 on the Rams. I don't have any other guesses, dude.
You say what year he drafted?
Drafted in 2008 in the second round.
Donnie Avery.
You are right. It is Donnie Avery.
Okay.
Good pull. All right, the next one's a little bit easier. Another wide receiver.
He was like 2013 draft, wasn't he?
Um,
Era.
all I know, okay, he was 2009 NFL draft. I know for sure he played for the
Right.
Titans. Got drafted by the Titans. Also played for the Browns and Brady
Oh,
Nelson's New England Patriots.
Kenny Britt? No?
Yes, it is Kenny Britt.
You played for the Patriots?
I guess. 2017, he was on the Patriots for a short time.
God, was he their seventh string receiver?
Must have been.
Shout
Wait,
out
Zach
Russell,
Dylan,
Stacy.
I'm
man.
waiting on your answer for this running back here.
Zach
You.
Stacy.
It is not Zach Stacy. I was going to do him, but then I remember that video of him beating the shit out of his girlfriend, so I did not want to include him on this.
Could have done Steven Jackson, man.
No, he's easily remembered. Come on, Dylan. He played at Middle Tennessee State University.
Oh yeah,
Also
I
played
remember.
for the Bears.
What year was he drafted, Tim?
2013.
Same year as Zach Stacy, right? Wasn't like a 1-2 combo that year?
Yep.
Terrence Ganaway?
Benny the Jet Cunningham.
Dylan, did you look that one up?
No.
Benny the Jet Cunningham. Oh, look at that one. All right, Eagles players.
I won't get another one right all night.
Oh God, Tim, is this who I
Jason
think it
Avant?
is?
Jason Avant
Terrell
is
Owens.
right.
Damn
And yeah, Chris, that was literally your pick. All right, Cason. I know you know the next one. Super Bowl legend.
Oh, Corey Clement.
Yes, that is correct. And Brady Nelson, I put this other guy specifically for you.
I don't have a clue.
Yes. Yes, you do. You named your fantasy team after him.
Bear
Jordan Howard, I have no idea. There we go.
Bear Jordan.
Brady, Dylan, explain what he named his fantasy team that one year. Actually, like 3 years.
I will not talk about that. That does not need to be on the podcast.
When he was on the Bears, Brady had him on his team, and he didn't even have him on his team for like the 2 other years, but he had the name Bear Jordan for like 3 years. I knew Dylan would love that. All right.
Kind of rich, yeah.
Not gonna
Then
lie,
we're going
Tim.
to probably the best.
I recognize Corey Clement. I did not recognize Jordan Howard.
Wow. All right, so we're going on to probably the best game of the weekend. I'm hoping it's not a letdown of a game. Like I said, I'm thinking the way it's going to go is these teams are going to beat the shit out of each other, and then they're not going to be ready for the Chiefs the next week. That's what the NFL is hoping for anyway. But I don't care. Give me Buffalo. I'm never going to pick against Buffalo in January. I would never do that. I don't care what the result was earlier this year in Baltimore, the 35-10 game or whatever. I don't care. It's Buffalo football in January. Real feel of -3 degrees. Now, both these teams are from the upper East Coast, so they deal with the same weather, but nobody deals with the lake effect like Buffalo does, which there is just a chance of snow. It's not going to like pile on. As much as I'd love to watch another Josh Allen freaking Snowfest game. Um, as you can see, the Bills are a much more injured team coming in this. They're also 1 point dogs in this, which kind of surprised me. I mean, money line, they're even. Total 51.5. Spread, though, I'm kind of shocked Buffalo's not favored. The Ravens probably have the better overall team. We know that, but I don't know. How can you just like pick against Buffalo in this game? I'm sure a few of you are going to do it, but I won't ever pick against Josh Allen. I will continue my glaze of him on this podcast until he wins MVP and probably until he wins the Super Bowl. So give me Buffalo in this one. I can't tell if I want to make it a high scoring game or a low scoring game. So I don't know. I'll post what I'm predicting down here when I edit it. But you got lots of full participants, but um I did see that Brandon Codrington, their kick returner, he's a big one that they're going to get back this week. Ray Davis last week got knocked out. He's limited participation in practice with a concussion. So enough of me yapping about the Bills and how much I love them. So who wants to take it next? Anyone else going the Bills?
Why is Dennis Schroeder number 71?
Dylan, this isn't NBA season on this podcast yet, so
Jeez.
I've been watching this game the whole time and didn't realize that's who that was.
It's so disgusting, dude. Oh, 71. I'm going with the Bills, based off of them playing at home. And if you're a home team in the playoffs with a good talent like Josh Allen and you're considered to be a 1 point dog, I think you just go with the Bills. Chance of a good snow game, not snow game, but cold game, which obviously they both play in some elements, but I think it's helped the Bills in the past. I think it'll help them this week.
Someone sent something on the chat. Dylan is a squirrel. Okay.
Mekel, unmute your mic and tell me that like a man.
All right, yeah, Mekel,
Squirrel.
unmute your mic. Let's hear your pick on this.
Yeah, but
I
in
think this is gonna
Russian.
be. I think it's gonna be a hell of a game. I'm gonna go with Baltimore though, probably like 35-31 or something like that. Um, yeah, I know the Bills are at home and they're on a roll, but I think Derrick Henry is just on fire right now, and with that temperature, probably gonna demoralize that linebacking core of the Bills, and then Lamar rips off one run. It's gonna be a shit show of running against the Bills. So yeah, high scoring game. I'm taking the Ravens in this one.
Um, Chris, are you on beer 4 still, or are you pounding out 5?
Yeah, it's him. Look at the chat.
Oh, look at the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flip that chat.
Why is it not dropping down? Beer number 5. Okay. So, who are you picking in this one?
Well, my Super Bowl winners were the Ravens, so I'm going with the Ravens.
Oh, from last week and not the earlier in the season?
Yeah, yeah. No, I think the 49ers still have a chance. So
I had them too.
All right, Brady.
I think this will be a close game. I picked Buffalo to win it all because I think they're the best team this year, but I think it's going to be a good game. I don't see a world where the Ravens could win this game, but I've also been the biggest doubter of them the entire season. So they've more than exceeded my expectations for them this year.
Did you doubt them last week, though? You didn't doubt them last week against Schittsburg. I know that.
I mean, I had Pittsburgh to cover, and after I found out that Flowers was out, I wanted Steelers money line. So it's not like I didn't doubt them.
Sounds like you just hate Lamar Jackson. Now, why would you hate Lamar Jackson?
Because he's not a better quarterback than Josh Allen.
Fair
He's
enough.
blazed like a motherfucker.
Straight to it. All right, Cason.
Well, Tim, you know who I'm going to pick here. I
You're
honestly,
picking the Ravens because you're the biggest Josh Allen hater, and I'm not going to have you jinx Josh Allen for me.
I do think it's going to be a pretty close game. I think it's going to be something like, I don't know, 26-23 or something like that. I just think that the team around Lamar is substantially better than the team around Derrick Henry. I mean, or not around Derrick Henry, around Josh Allen. You got, Derrick Henry versus James Cook. I mean, receiving cores, Amari Cooper's been okay since he went over there, and Shakir's solid. Tight ends, Ravens are better. O-lines, Ravens are better. Defense, Ravens are better. So I think that it's going to take Josh Allen's going to have to play another game like he played against the Rams or the Chiefs earlier this year, which he has proven he can do. But in typical Bills form in the playoffs, he's going to play where he throws 23 or 26 for 350 yards, and they're still going to find a way to lose that game because the defense is going to choke with like a minute left.
And then we're going to see the nightmare scenario of the Ravens having to go to Kansas City and lose in a game that they should win, which nobody wants to see.
Don't worry, they're gonna lead for the first 3 quarters to give you hope, and then they're gonna get fucked by one call early in the 4th quarter, and then fall apart like every other time the Ravens play the Chiefs.
Well,
Save us, save us, Lamar Jackson. Save us.
I don't think it'll happen because it won't matter because the Bills are winning this game and Josh Allen is going to beat the Chiefs for the 2nd time this year. Either way, though, do we think that this game's going to live up to the hype? Because this is probably one of the best playoff games anticipated that we have seen in like the last 10 years, probably.
I think it'd be a historical game.
I think so. I think that's why the NFL sending Carl Sheffers too, to make sure that these teams beat the shit out of each other, and he's not going to call shit about it.
Dylan, do you have an update on where John Hussey's being sent to?
I'll see if I can get the ref update for the week, but whatever game that is, I'm just gonna watch the game cast.
Yeah, Dylan was very happy watching all those penalties called on the Vikings in that game with John Hussey announcing them. Also,
That
I don't know
dude
how I feel
sucks.
about your take on the tight ends on that one, Cason, because Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox are pretty solid and they're consistent. That's the thing that Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews are not, is consistent. Nothing to
I don't
see.
know.
Uh,
I don't know if I agree with him saying that the Ravens defense and O line are better either.
It's fair.
well,
Really,
John
really, outside of Derrick
Hussey,
Henry, I don't know if the Ravens have a positional advantage.
John
Uh,
Hussey did not get one, which is not good because that means we have to watch him in a divisional championship.
yeah, yeah. The way it works, Dylan, is I think whoever like the wild card gets to ref conference championships, and whoever refs this round gets to ref the Super Bowl. So there's actually a
Oh.
that Carl Shepard will be refing his third Super Bowl in the last 5 years. So just prepare for that one.
Did you guys see that they're saying that when Clay Martin is the head official for Chiefs games in the playoffs, they're 6-0, and
Yeah, I
he's
saw
got
that.
their game? Yeah, that's.
I,
I mean,
I don't know how I
uh,
feel about those stats because it doesn't really matter who the Chiefs have reffing. They've got them all in their back pocket anyways.
It's a valid point. All right, so now we are going on to this. I was really hoping Josh Giles would be in this for this last guy on the Ravens, but Dylan, you should know who the first guy is. Wide receiver.
Tylan Wallace.
No, Dylan.
I don't know why, but he looks like Tandon Doss.
That is not Tannen Doss. I was actually
No,
looking at it earlier and I was like, why does that look like Des Bryant low key? But it's not Des Bryant either.
Why'd you got to call me out, dude? I don't know who the hell that is.
Yes, you do. He was supposed to be a fantasy legend for a year. Like
Todd
20
Perriman.
who?
Todd Perriman.
No, not Rashad Perriman.
Deontay Johnson.
Not Deontay. Dylan, no.
Told you guys, fucking squirrel.
Odell Beckham.
He
Oh
was
god.
signed by the Bills as a free undrafted free agent in 2011. Brady, he also played for your Patriots. Played for the Bills, Patriots, Ravens, Colts, and Eagles. Went to UCF for college.
And kind of a journeyman, huh?
Yeah. Nobody's got a guess.
Can you give me a hint, like his first or last name?
No, his initials are KA.
Keenan Allen.
Hey, Adams.
Dude, I don't know who this is.
Kamar Aiken. Does anybody remember
You
that
really
guy?
said that expecting me to
I
just know
remember
that
him.
right
Dylan,
away?
you
That's
literally mentioned him to
nuts.
me earlier this year because we were looking at our old fantasy things and you were like, oh my God, remember this guy?
Are you
Either way,
sure?
Vikings fans should know this next guy from that Vikings and Ravens game in the snow.
2013 game. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was just thinking about. He caught the touchdown in the back of the end zone, but I don't remember his name though.
How about them dogs, Tim? It's Marlon Brown.
I'm shocked that Chris
From
just
the clouds.
Chris just randomly puts his input in and he's 1 for 1 on guesses now, I think. Unless I don't
Yeah,
remember if you guessed earlier, but
I don't guess unless I know. I don't want to make myself look stupid. Which so.
fair enough.
Uh,
All right, Dylan, you heard my hint earlier about this guy. Running back for the Ravens. I was hoping Josh would be on this for him because Josh used to be the biggest homer of this guy.
Ray Rice.
Hate you.
Can we
He
kick
was 27. I get it. He was 27.
is that Geno Smith?
Yeah.
Mm,
This
what
man
year
went
was this
by
guy?
this man went by a different first name than his actual name.
Mm,
Played at USC. Was taken by the Ravens in the fourth round of the 2015 NFL Draft. Only played for the Ravens and got invited to camp by the Saints and Giants in 2019.
Invited to camp, not like signed anything.
No.
I don't even care. I'm looking this one up, but I'm not gonna say it.
Can't believe no one has a guess on this one.
I
I
keep wanting to say like Snoop Connor, but I don't think it's him.
It's not him.
see who it is. That's funny.
Dylan, do you want to say his nickname?
Buck.
Yeah, his nickname was Buck. Any
Buck
guesses?
Allen. No one's heard of Buck Allen.
Javorius Buck Allen. Wow, it's like no one knew that guy. What the hell?
You got the whole squad
Sounds like
laughing
one
at
of
him.
those Key and Peele names.
Yeah, that's fair. So then wide receiver for the Bills. This one's an easy one.
DB Johnson.
It is Stevie Johnson.
No, I didn't know you'd bring out my Madden Godin, the Cardinals
Oh, I
team.
know.
Well, not the Cardinals. He was on the fantasy draft one.
This next one, Dylan should know him. Honestly, Brady should know him because he torched the AFC East for years off two different teams.
It looks like Eric Ebron.
It is not Eric Ebron.
I
I should have
know.
done that for the Lions, though.
Oh,
You should
that's
have.
Charles Clay.
It is Charles Clay. I was hoping Brady
Dog.
would say something, but Brady's just mute, apparently. All right, then the last one. This one I wouldn't expect anyone to get because he's not known for playing on the Bills. He's more known for playing on another AFC East team.
Is that Leon Washington?
It is not.
What year was he drafted?
I don't know, but I will say that's a bad picture of him because it's not showing his dreads.
Chris Ivory?
It is Chris Ivory.
Let's go.
The
Good
Saints.
one. All right, so now we will go. People requested the head coach predictions here, but yet the people that requested that are not here. So great. But here we go. Head coach predictions. The openings are the Cowboys, Raiders, Jaguars, Bears, Saints, and Jets. The top candidates are Ben Johnson, Jesse Minter, Liam Cohen, Aaron Glenn, Todd Monken, Brian Flores, Cliff Kingsbury, Mike McCarthy, Anthony Weaver, and Pete Carroll. So, does anybody have any predictions immediately?
We left off Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I almost said that.
I should have put Deion Sanders on that, but I didn't.
I respect the NFL logo for Pete Carroll, but not for Mike McCarthy. Like he could have put the Cowboys logo, maybe.
He's not with the Cowboys anymore. What can I say?
I mean, as of like not too long ago.
I think Aaron Glenn to the Saints is like almost a for sure thing at this point, from what I've heard. Since he's been with the organization for a while, and it sounds like he's already kind of picking his staff. My bold prediction: I think Ben Johnson doesn't go anywhere. I think he stays with Detroit again.
I also could see that. My prediction is Mike McCarthy to the Bears. I'd love to see it, honestly. I'd love to see Mike McCarthy.
I agree with that.
I have to see him twice a year.
Tim,
my one bold prediction would be Rex Ryan to the Jets. Once again,
Please.
I think
I
we
need
all
that.
want that, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen. But that's why it's
You should have put Rex Ryan on here with the ESPN logo.
I should have. Dylan, do you
I
think
did see
Brian
that.
Flores is going anywhere?
I think he'll leave. I don't know where he's gonna go though. I mean, maybe he'll be someone who goes to the Jags. I did see. Was it today or yesterday? I saw that they were talking about Ben Johnson to the Raiders was heating up, which I don't know. I could see that. I also saw the fake phone call to Caleb Williams by the so-called Ben Johnson. It was a bunch of kids pretending to be him, and it was one of the funniest videos I've seen in a long time. Bro got
I don't
catfish.
know how he fell for that.
It's very funny. And then he was on like Amon Ra and Equinemius St. Brown's podcast, and he was like, "It was a very, very well written text. Like I've got so many texts like that in my life."
Dude must be using lead paint for his fingernails. Getting brain rot.
Brain rot, dude.
Oh, Brady. All right,
But
Brady, let's hear what you have to say about the coaching carousel. And yes, I did not put Vrabel on there because Vrabel's already accepted Pat's job.
yep. I think Kellen Moore goes to the Cowboys since he's got familiarity there. I know it's not on the list, but the perfect puppet for Jerry to use for a couple of years.
Yeah, so this list here was a top 10 list that I found. It's like some article that was like the top 10 most likely things. So I just used that. But yes, I could definitely see Kellen Moore going somewhere. Um, what do you guys think about Todd Monken? Because I feel like his name is on one of these lists every single year, and yet he doesn't make the move.
Back to Georgia as the offensive coordinator, for the love of God.
How realistic do you think that is?
Not very realistic at all. So I'll shut up.
Chris, my sources are actually saying that Mike Bobo is going to take over as the head coach of Georgia once Kirby Smart leaves to become an NFL head coach.
I'm not going to say what my thoughts are on that because I'm pretty sure Tim would get blacklisted from YouTube if I did. So I'm just gonna stop here.
Must be on beer 6, huh?
If you check the chat, yes.
If you could read,
Thanks,
The
Dylan.
chat
Thanks,
doesn't
Dylan.
pop up. I'm looking at the same screen that you guys are. There you
Obviously
go,
not.
beer 6. Oh, we went too far.
Tim,
we
my other
What the hell is
status
going on
update is
here?
that Mike McCarthy actually has better playoff stats than Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Mike Tomlin sucks. I don't care what anyone says. I will continue that argument that he is literally Black Jeff Fisher. He is. He's the definition of mid.
except Jeff Fisher always went 7-9. Tomlin goes 9-7.
Okay, Jeff Fisher had a few
He's
years
got
where
eight
he
and
went
eight in
8 and
there
8,
every
10
now
and
and then.
7, or 10
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
6.
yeah, that's
If you think about it, though, if you're always going one of the two, I'd almost rather always go 7-9 so you get a better pick.
That's a good point. You could win the division at 7 and 9 too.
that
People have
has
done it
happened.
before.
And you're not going to
Is
get
that the Panthers?
You're not going to get kept there for 10 years past your prime.
Yeah.
The fact that he didn't make it to a Super Bowl with the Killer Bees is enough to that should have been enough to get him fired.
Facts. I've also seen a lot of this Liam Cohen guy. Does anybody think he goes anywhere? Because I could see him going to somewhere like the Raiders or Jacksonville, maybe, since he's already
Nah,
in.
the Raiders do some dumb shit and get Kingsbury or something.
I think
Well,
the Raiders get Flores since Tom Brady has experience with him in the Patriots organization, and he seems to kind of be pulling the strings there as trying to bring in a coach. I think I could see Flores going there. Cohen, I could see going to the Jags. The real question is, what about Kevin O'Connell? We brought this up last week. Do we see any bold takes of him getting forced out if there is kind of the rumored power struggle with the GM there?
No.
Vikings fans are in denial right now. I don't know.
he'll get fired in 5 years when JJ sucks ass.
I know Dylan loves that statement because Dylan is very high on him.
I hated the pick at first. I grew to like it. played well in the preseason game, then got hurt. So I've kind of just been like, I don't really know what to expect from him. I mean, he's going to hand the ball off a lot, so we better go get some better running backs than freaking Aaron Jones and Cam Akers.
I also saw the Vikings free agent list, and holy shit, it's like half their team.
They had a lot of guys on short-term deals, especially on the defensive side of things. But they have like 72 million in cap space, so we'll see what happens.
40 million, that's not a Darnold.
We cannot. Oh God.
Well, that'll probably be it for tonight. Nothing too spectacular, no outrageous takes. Anyone want to throw one in there real quick? Like the Commanders going all the way to the Super Bowl or something?
I guess my outrageous take is that one of the underdog teams, either the Rams, Commanders, or Texans, will make the Super Bowl.
I could honestly see the Rams making it.
The Rams. Yeah.
And if it is the Rams, I want the Bills on the other side just because that was the best game from the NFL this year. It was an absolute, that's what you want out of an NFL game. But
I don't
bold
know. Someone needs to play Tyrod Taylor. That's all I got.
what were you going to say, Cason?
my bold take is if the Rams win the Super Bowl, Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford both retire.
Yeah,
I like that.
interesting. Well, we will be back next week for championship weekend. Hopefully not featuring the Chiefs. I think we can all agree on that. We're split between the Bills and Ravens, so we'll see. We'll have to see on that one. But I know I'm not checking the chat right now. I don't know what just got put in there, but I'm not looking at it. So we will be back next week. Appreciate all you being on and
Free Jackson Yockey.
right.